The United States military just got direct access to what intelligence agencies are calling the most advanced artificial intelligence on the planet, and it happened with literally a single memo. This isn't some distant future scenario. This memo dropped just 2 days ago, and it's reshaping how America's defense strategy works right now. Here's what makes this wild. For years, the world's most powerful AI models were locked inside tech companies' data centers. They belonged to OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, Microsoft. The military used them through a PIS like everyone else. But now, those barriers just came down. Trump's memo essentially put zero restrictions on how the Department of Defense can access, deploy, and integrate cutting-edge AI directly into military operations. We are talking about AI that can analyze battlefield data in milliseconds, predict enemy movements, optimize supply chains, and coordinate drone swarms, all in real time, all at a scale no human command center could match. And it's not theoretical anymore. Units are already preparing to use it. The question isn't whether this changes everything about modern warfare. It does. The real question is, what happens when the most advanced AI on Earth becomes a military weapon and the rules for how to use it are still being written? To understand why this matters, you need to know what came before. Under Biden, the military had access to AI, sure, but there was policy friction. There were guidelines. There were conversations with tech companies about responsible development. Defense contractors had to navigate rules around which AI they could use for which applications. Trump's memo basically said, stop asking for permission. The Department of Defense gets direct access to the best AI models available. With minimal oversight, minimal restrictions. It's not that military AI didn't exist before, it absolutely did. But this is different. It's like the difference between a soldier having a rifle and a soldier having an unlimited armory with every weapon imaginable. Here's the context. China's been pushing hard into military AI for years. Russia's been experimenting with autonomous systems. Allies like the United Kingdom and Germany have their own programs. But the American military just leapfrogged years of red tape. What took other countries 5 years of development and debate, America just decided to do immediately. The geopolitical calculation is straightforward. If America doesn't move fast, competitors will. If we don't field AI-powered defense systems now, adversaries will, and they won't hesitate. So the memo isn't just a policy change. It's a response to what Trump sees as an existential race that's already underway. But here's what the headlines are glossing over right now. When people say the most advanced AI on the planet, what does that actually mean? We're talking about large language models like GPT-4 Turbo, Claude, and DeepSeek's latest releases, AI systems trained on trillions of parameters, capable of reasoning through complex problems, generating coherent strategies, and synthesizing intelligence from thousands of sources in seconds. But in a military context, advanced means something very specific. It's not just raw intelligence. It's AI that can integrate data from satellites, drones, radar systems, and communications networks in real time and synthesize that into actionable recommendations. Imagine an AI that watches 500 tactical scenarios simultaneously, predicts which one escalates fastest, and recommends countermeasures before commanders even realize the threat exists. That's what we are talking about here. The civilian versions of these models are impressive for writing essays or debugging code. The military versions take that foundation and wrap it with secure communications, classified data access, and tactical decision support. An AI system can process the intelligence that would take a human analyst 3 weeks to review in about 30 seconds flat. And here's what makes it revolutionary: speed. In modern warfare, the side that can observe, orient, decide, and act fastest wins. That's called the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, act. AI collapses that loop. Instead of hours, it's minutes. Instead of minutes, it's seconds. That speed multiplier is the real superpower Trump just handed to the Department of Defense. So what does this actually look like on the ground? Let's get specific. The Navy's now testing AI systems that integrate data from every destroyer, submarine, and aircraft carrier in a fleet and identify optimal strategies in real time. Instead of a commander in a headquarters making decisions based on radio reports and hunches, they get AI-powered analysis that says, given current enemy positions, our fuel status, and classified intelligence. Here's your best 3 tactical options, and here's why each one works. The Air Force is using similar systems for drone swarm coordination. Historically, if you wanted to fly 50 drones simultaneously, you needed 50 pilots controlling them, and coordination was nearly impossible. AI changes that fundamentally. One operator can manage hundreds of drones if the AI handles collision avoidance, formation flying, and tactical coordination automatically. Then there's intelligence analysis. The CIA, NSA, and Defense Intelligence Agency handle petabytes of intercepts, satellite imagery, and signals intelligence every single day. Humans bottleneck that analysis. An AI system can correlate threat patterns across all of it and flag exactly what analysts need to know right now instead of what matters tomorrow. The Army's deploying systems for logistics optimization. Where should supplies be positioned? Which units need ammunition fastest? Without AI, this is educated guesswork. With it, you optimize supply chains the way Amazon optimizes delivery routes, except the stakes are lives and mission success. These aren't hypothetical projects anymore. Requests for AI implementation went out last month. Units are being trained right now. The infrastructure rollout starts this quarter. Now here's where this gets genuinely interesting from a global perspective. The United States isn't the only country with advanced AI, but it's moving faster and more openly than anyone else, and that signals something important about how this arms race is shaping up. China's been the most aggressive competitor. They've invested heavily in military AI for nearly a decade. They've got autonomous systems, swarm drones, AI-powered intelligence analysis. But in this matters, they are far more secretive about it. The US Memo is a public statement. China's programs are opaque. That asymmetry is intentional. China wants credible deterrence without telegraphing exactly what they can do. Russia's less developed in this space, but they're experimenting aggressively with autonomous systems in Ukraine right now. They're testing tactics. They are learning. They'll be playing catch-up for years, but they're not sitting still. European allies like the United Kingdom and Germany are somewhere in the middle. They're developing military AI, sure, but they're also worried about civilian casualties, proportionality, and adhering to international law. They're moving carefully. Trump's memo signals America's not interested in moving carefully. Here's the thing that actually matters. Once you enter a military AI arms race, you can't unenter it. Every adversary sees this memo and thinks, we need to move even faster. Every ally sees it and thinks, are we falling behind? The pace accelerates. Research budgets increase. Timelines compress. What was a 10-year development cycle becomes 5 years, then 3. And this is just the beginning of that acceleration. Here's where things get genuinely complex. The implications of militarized AI at this scale aren't just strategic, they are deeply philosophical. When an AI system makes a targeting recommendation in milliseconds, who's accountable if it's wrong? The programmer, the commander, the AI itself. In theory, humans remain in the loop. A human has to authorize every action. But in practice, when an AI system says, fire here in 0.3 seconds, or we lose the tactical advantage, the human becomes a rubber stamp. The speed fundamentally changes the responsibility equation. Then there's the escalation problem. If both sides have AI-powered defense systems making near-instantaneous decisions, the risk of accidental war increases dramatically. A misidentified threat, a system glitch, a miscommunication, any of these could cascade into something catastrophic before humans even realize there's a problem developing. There's also the autonomous weapons question. The memo doesn't explicitly authorize fully autonomous systems, weapons that identify, track, and fire without any human approval whatsoever. But it opens that door wide. Once the infrastructure is in place, updating the policy to allow autonomy is just software changes. International law is murky here. There's no treaty governing military AI. There's no agreement on rules of engagement. The Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons hasn't caught up. We are writing the rules in real time, and whoever moves fastest usually gets to define them. Finally, there's the cyber angle. The most advanced AI in the world is now accessible to the US military. That makes it a target. If an adversary hacks those systems, they don't just get intelligence. They can feed false information directly into the decision-making loop. If you want to understand what's actually happening here and stay informed as this unfolds, Here's what matters most to track. First, understand the distinction between AI in military use and autonomous AI weapons. Military AI as decision support, analyzing data, recommending strategies, optimizing logistics, that's here now. That's in the memo. Fully autonomous AI weapons that select and engage targets without human approval, that's not explicitly authorized yet. But watch for that line to blur over the next year. Second, understand the supply chain. These AI systems run on specialized chips, NVIDIA's latest GPUs, custom AI accelerators, high-bandwidth memory. If you want to track America's military AI capability expansion, watch semiconductor shipments to defense contractors. That's a leading indicator of what's actually happening. Third, follow the international response. When Beijing and Moscow release statements about this, they are signaling their own acceleration plans. When European allies get quiet, they are either accelerating quietly or reassessing strategy. Both matter. Fourth, watch for policy updates. Trump's memo is the starting point. There will be more memos, more executive orders, more budget allocations. Those documents are public record. Read them. They'll tell you exactly what the military is trying to do. Fifth, pay attention to hiring announcements. Defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and General Dynamics will massively expand their AI teams. LinkedIn job postings are public. A sudden spike in AI defense contractor jobs is a leading indicator. And finally, remember, this is moving fast, really fast. Stay informed and understand that the military AI race is accelerating, whether we are comfortable with it or not. So here's what this means for all of us living in 2026. We exist in a world where military decisions now happen at machine speed. Escalation can happen in seconds. De-escalation is slower. Misunderstandings can't always be clarified before missiles move. The good news: America now has a genuine technological advantage in military AI right now. That capability, in theory, makes America more secure in the short term. Adversaries have to respect that power. The bad news: once you enter an arms race, everyone accelerates immediately. China will spend more on military AI next year. Russia will accelerate their programs. Defense budgets everywhere just went up. The pressure to move faster intensifies. The space for careful, thoughtful policy shrinks. In the medium term, the next 2 to 5 years, watch for concrete deployments. Watch for incidents that test these systems in actual conflict. Watch for international reactions that reshape alliances. Watch for cyber attacks targeting military AI infrastructure. The long-term question is more unsettling. What's the end game of AI arms races? When every decision point, targeting, logistics, strategy, threat assessment, is driven by AI, what role does human judgment even play? That's not a science fiction question anymore. It's a policy question happening right now in boardrooms and Pentagon offices. The memo's out. The infrastructure's being built. The race is on. Your job is to stay informed, understand what's actually happening under the technical jargon, and hold leaders accountable for decisions that affect all of us. Follow AI Power headlines for daily updates on how this unfolds. These developments are accelerating, and you need to understand them.